Your heart is racing right now, not from running, not from danger, from an email. You read 3 lines from your boss and your palms went damp. Your chest got tight. Somewhere behind your ribs an alarm went off. But there is no lion, there is no cliff edge, there is only a laptop screen and a blinking cursor. And yet your body reacted as if your life depended on the next 60 seconds. Why? The answer is far stranger than stress management advice ever tells you. 2 million years ago, your ancestors lived on the open grasslands of East Africa. Predators moved through tall grass without warning. A rustle in the bushes could mean wind. It could also mean a lion. The humans who survived were not the ones who calmly weighed the odds. They were the ones who reacted first and thought later. Their bodies flooded with chemicals before their minds even understood what was happening. That reaction saved lives. It got passed down. It became you. Inside your skull sits a small almond-shaped cluster of neurons called the amygdala. Neuroscientist Joseph Ledoux spent decades studying this structure, and what he found changed how scientists understand fear. The amygdala does not wait for permission from the thinking part of your brain. It acts first. A rustle in the grass, a sharp email, a stranger's raised voice. The amygdala treats all of them the same way. Threat detected, sound the alarm. Ask questions later. This is the fight-or-flight response, a term coined by physiologist Walter Cannon back in the 1920s. Cannon discovered that when an animal senses danger, its body doesn't gently prepare. It floods itself with adrenaline. Heart rate spikes, blood rushes to the muscles. Digestion slows down because your stomach doesn't matter when you might be eaten. None of this requires thought. It happens in a fraction of a second, deep in ancient brain circuitry that existed long before language, long before agriculture, long before you were born. Here's the strange part. Your body cannot tell the difference between a lion and a deadline. Cortisol doesn't know the difference. Adrenaline doesn't know the difference. As far as your nervous system is concerned, a passive-aggressive text message and a predator crouched in the grass triggered the exact same biological alarm. Your ancestors' threats lasted minutes. A lion either caught you or it didn't. Either way, the danger ended quickly and your body returned to calm. Your threats today do not end quickly. They wait in your inbox. They sit in your notifications. They loop in your mind at 2 a.m. This is where things start to break down. Stanford neuroscientist Robert Sapolsky spent years studying zebras and baboons in the wild, and he asked a simple question. Why don't zebras get ulcers? A zebra sees a lion, runs, and either survives or doesn't. If it survives, its stress hormones drop back to normal within minutes. It goes back to grazing like nothing happened. Humans do not do this. Humans replay the argument from 3 days ago while lying in bed. Humans imagine the presentation going wrong before it has even started. Sapolsky's research showed that this is precisely what separates human stress from animal stress. We activate the same ancient alarm system, but we keep it running long after the danger has passed or before it has even arrived. Your brain evolved to handle short, sharp bursts of danger. It did not evolve to handle a stress response that stays switched on for weeks. Neuroscientist Bruce McEwen gave this a name, allostatic load. It refers to the wear and tear on your body from chronic activation of a system built for emergencies, not for daily life. Elevated cortisol for an afternoon helps you survive a genuine threat. Elevated cortisol for months at a time begins to damage memory, immune function, even the structure of your brain itself. The system that once protected your ancestors from lions is now quietly working against you, one unread message at a time. Think about what your body actually does when you feel anxious before a meeting. Your muscles tense, ready to run. Your senses sharpen, scanning for danger. Your heart pumps faster, ready to deliver oxygen to legs that are never going to move. You are, in every physiological sense, preparing for a physical escape from a room with a whiteboard and a coffee machine. This mismatch has a name among evolutionary psychologists: evolutionary mismatch. Your genes are running software written for the savannah. You are running that software inside a world of glowing screens, financial deadlines, and constant notifications. The hardware hasn't updated in 2 million years. The environment changed overnight, at least on an evolutionary timescale. Consider your ancestors again for a moment. When they faced a threat, they had a job to do: run, fight, freeze. And when it ended completely. There was no lingering notification, no follow-up email from the lion. Danger had a beginning and an end, and your nervous system was built around that shape. Modern stress rarely has that shape. It stretches, it repeats. It waits for you the moment you open your eyes in the morning. This is why chronic stress feels so exhausting in a way that seems disproportionate to the actual danger. You are not just worried about a deadline. Your body is running a threat response system on a loop it was never designed to sustain. Your ancient alarm bells were built for sprints. You're asking them to run a marathon. There is something almost tender in this, if you look at it closely. Your racing heart before a difficult conversation is not a malfunction. It's a message from millions of years in the past, trying to protect you the only way it knows how. The problem isn't that your body is broken. The problem is that it's doing exactly what it was built to do in a world that no longer matches the instructions. Understanding this doesn't make the stress disappear, but it changes what the stress means. The tight chest before a presentation is not proof that something is wrong with you. It's proof that your body still remembers the grasslands, still remembers the tall grass and the rustling sound that once decided who lived and who didn't. You inherited that vigilance. You inherited that speed. You just inherited it for a world that stopped needing it in quite the same way. So the next time your palms sweat before you open an email, or your chest tightens before a phone call, pause for a second before reaching for a solution. Notice what is actually happening. An ancient system, older than cities, older than written language, older than fire in some ways, is doing its best to protect you from something that looks nothing like the danger it was designed for. Your heart is racing right now, not from a lion, from a message. And somewhere behind your ribs, that same ancient alarm is still doing the only job it has ever known how to do: